Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, and welcome to RPG Limit Break, where we're taking on the second race of Crab Cakes versus Ganon's Gone Wild. I'm John 4X7 Good, here in the booth with Courant. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's great to be here on RPG Limit Break. Thank you all for coming out and watching this tonight. If you didn't get the chance to watch Crab Cakes versus Ganon last night, that is a race you definitely should go back and watch because holy Moses, it was something else. And I anticipate that it's going to be pretty much precisely the same tonight because we have the same runners, we have the same qualifications of no black belts for you, and we have two of the best runners in the community, so I expect it's going to be a fantastic time.
Well, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. AK-1247, we are getting to those blurstings right about now. As Courant mentioned, we did have a draft, so this is what they chose, and they mutually agreed to ban the black belt from this. So, you mind going over those blurstings there, Courant?
Yep. So the draft itself went Crab Cakes chose Thief, then Ganon chose Red Mage and Fighter, and Crab Cakes chose the second Fighter. That Fighter has plus 20 Strength and can equip the Thor Hammer, but is minus 10 Vitality. The Thief can equip the Katana immediately and gets plus 10 Vitality, but has minus 5 Luck. The Red Mage can equip Fighter Armor and has Black Belt Vitality, but is missing 10 Agility.
Got ourselves a little chunky red mage here. Might be the one surviving most of these things, I think.
Oh yes, I would expect so, especially once those levels start hitting and the Black Belt Vitality is, well, it certainly starts to rear its head.
Oh yeah. Yep. So, yep. The two fighters, the red mage and the thief. Well, we should be able to run. We should. But that minus 5 luck may not help with that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, especially considering that the thief's main importance, particularly early on in a seed, is that ability to be able to run away. The minus 5 luck hits right in some sensitive spots.
But as we said, that chunky red mage, the thief though, getting a katana early means they may not have to run to that promote if they find one.
That's true. Now, of course, it depends on how good the katana is. If it's katana plus anything, it's fantastic. If it's a katana minus a lot, then it's still a good weapon, just not great.
Yep. And unlike black belt seeds we've been seeing, this party is going to rely a lot on equipment, so we'll probably be seeing a few more chests open than some of the other runs.
Yeah, I would expect so. I think we are going to see it for ourselves in just a moment because we should be getting close to live time. So, yeah, everybody sit back, get comfy, have your nicely freshly popped popcorn if you're into that sort of thing, and let's enjoy another great seed of Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Yeah. Yes, let's do it. Here we go. Alright. Get this, exit and fade level 1 white magic.
Alright, that exit and fade is a pretty fantastic start if you can equip it, but the fade is unfortunately unlearnable for that red mage. It's a wee bit rough as that sort of thing goes.
It is. But that Bane coming up there early on the black magic still gives us something to kill Garland with, so we're good. We can get going early.
Oh yeah. And I believe the red mage was able to get exit as well, am I remembering correctly?
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes some earlier dives a little bit more viable. And there's a lot of cash in that bottom left chest, too. Almost 8k worth.
Yeah, that will get you a lot of things, including if the shop item is... Oh, that's a lot more cash. Okay, so never mind. If the shop item is in Canaria, we can definitely get it. If it's in Provoco, we can probably get it too.
Yeah, yeah, we got money. Right. Getting on to Garland. You're on some Banes. Oop. Crab Cake's resetting out of Bane not running that one, but Red does. Bane landed, and here we go. Get a crown. And get a rod. We're not leaving that in Volcano today.
Nope. So folks asking in chat if the Black, White, and Muscle Wizards were terrible. This was a draft. The 3 party members that were picked were the Thief first, then the Fighter and the Red Mage second, and then the second Fighter was the last pick. Black Belts were banned by both players. It was a mutual decision because they both feel that Black Belts are pretty boring for seeds, so they both chose to just get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Same pro rings are for sale. A little pricey, but they're available. Irons +2. That's good for that Red Mage and the Fighter and the other Fighter.
Right, absolutely. All right, so looks like Ganon is heading out of Canaria, going to conquer the bridge boss at about a little after 2 minutes 30 seconds. Crabcakes, I expect, is going to be pretty hot on Ganon's heels.
All right, throwing down the tent here and gonna see where our encounter table. It looks like we got ourselves a pretty good hero run off that.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it, and I expect the skill that both runners have, I think they're going to be... All right, chat, I'm going to have to look back and see who predicted Nuke at level 2, because you got it.
That was Will Bloodworth. He predicted it.
That's not a surprise. I mean, Will is one of the more astute members of our community, so I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah, so we got our Nuke, we got Exit, we got Fade. Well, we don't have Fade, but we got Exit, we got Nuke. What else do you need?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only other things I could say would be Fast, which I think was also at level 2, if I remember seeing it. And also, I mean, we could find, say, Warp. That'd be great.
Yeah, it makes that ice cave just a little bit safer. Oh, hey, a big
Vanilla!
Woohoo!
Also, chat pointing out that, yeah, that white level 2 was Cure 4, Ruse, and Heal 3, so
yeah.
Holy Moses.
Oh, yeah. An unrandomized Mikey and Ganon's Gone Wild. Spending a little bit of money on the spells, which is absolutely okay. Unfortunately, spent just a hair too much, and it's gonna go find some money to get that Adamant, which is the shop item here in Provoca.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to leave that behind.
No.
And you certainly don't want to leave behind a key.
Nope.
And a chime! What the heck?
Oh, both loose in Matoya's closet. Wow. Well, that key is probably going to allow us to get some more cash real quick out of Corneria, since we didn't get any there, but that was a very, very nice stop.
Absolutely. Holy cow. I mean,
yeah.
I know that Matoya is supposed to be blind, but my goodness, apparently she learned her 5-finger discount from the best.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Again, it's going straight to drop off a crown in the maybe marsh here, and
trying to go both directions at once, I see.
Overchoice paralysis, perhaps.
It's understandable. I mean, considering that Ganon is in really a plum position right now, because he now knows that both of the loose are already accounted for, and so I wonder.
That means if he pops into Marsh right now, he just swings by, drops off that herb on the way out of Elfland. We're golden.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't expect that Ganon's going to be doing a whole lot more treasure opening.
No. And I apologize for jumping on you there. I just saw that and I'm like, oh.
Nah, that's quite all right. It's definitely understandable. I mean, this seed has, I think the both loose being in one location it's just thrown everybody off. I mean, chat went nuts. Will's talking about that we're apparently taking a ship to Andromeda or Alpha Centauri, or pretty much pick your closest habitable star.
Oh yeah. Well, this wasn't the first race today to have it. Earlier race had the rod and floater in Volcano, so Yeah, they're like 2 chests apart.
Oh my goodness! I was about to say, if you say have those 2 items very disparate in Volcano, that can be a nightmare. But right close together. Speaking of money,
Oh, Ganon's got his money as well. Gonna be probably head back to Revoca quickly to get that adamant.
yeah, Ganon pretty much just robbed Rich Uncle Pennybags. I mean, my goodness.
And here's our way out of the Inner Sea too. You're calling that, Chad, the jet seed much?
I was gonna say, I have to. If I am in Ganon's shoes right now with what I have, I go ahead and turn in the herb, get whatever it is, see what level 3 and 4 spells are. Even though, well, there's not really a whole heck of a lot else you could probably be looking for right now, except maybe a life spell, and then get that adamant right here and now, and just never come back to the Inner Sea again, because there's our canoe.
Yeah, we're not coming back to the Inner Sea unless we have a floater and need to speak to the other dwarf for TNT turn-in. But yeah, this is wow.
Yeah, I know the seed last night, I want to say finished in slightly over an hour. I am starting to wonder if this one's going to take that long. Also, Will, Phoenix, y'all just jinxed each other.
All right, let's see. Was that life Red Mage vulnerable? I don't remember if slot 4 is or not.
I'm looking at the very helpful chart that our tracker Wildham posted here. It is Red Wizard learnable.
Okay. So if we absolutely need to, we have access to a life spell. Yeah.
I have not seen one available yet.
Yeah, we'd have to promote for it. And gold -1 and with plenty of cash. Just don't spend it all.
Yeah, don't spend it all, especially because you know what's coming up. Alright, so while Crabcakes is busy pillaging Marsh Cave and Ganon is probably headed to Provoca to get that adamant, I want to say first off, thank you to both of our runners for racing tonight, and if y'all haven't followed them yet, go follow them, because they are both fantastic. They are in the quarterfinals of this tournament, and are both clearly exceptionally talented. And also, thank you to everybody helping out for tonight's broadcast. Dark Moon is doing the restreaming, and Wildham is doing the tracking, and I have 4X in the booth with me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Answering a question in chat there for Angry Aaron. We found both loose items, so we really don't need to be checking any extra chests. The only thing he may want to be checking those key locks for is the spike tiles for a potential grind, but this party probably won't need to grind much.
I would add a slight extra note to that. You probably want to find at least one ribbon, although we do have wall, so that helps with that, but a ribbon would still be fairly nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are other chests that you can also check along the way, too, and that might be just a final... And you're going to have the Dwarven Armory here with a key, so... Oh, there's that opal cheerio. Again, got his. Hooray!
Yeah, both of our runners have acknowledged the Hooray Dwarfs, so kudos to them.
That's Ruby, exited out.
I was going to say, well, apparently Narek, or not Narek, but apparently the smith has forged a very exquisite gem. I'm kind of curious to see how he managed that.
It'd be pretty impressive, but yeah, we've got a rod, we got a prayer. We're gonna go into the earth real quick here. There is a key item down here, and if Earth ends up being a little nasty, we are gonna check the spike tails here as well. But that key item down there, and if Earth does tend to be a little nasty, you can grab that key item, exit out, and come back later. It's only a few seconds when you're built up good.
Yeah, chat pointing out that Sarda is open with that ruby. Admittedly, I am slightly surprised that Ganon didn't check that, but those waters are actually working out pretty well experience-wise, so definitely going to go ahead. I would suspect probably take at least another I want to say another battle or two. Probably not going to take those levels too high because we are looking at promotion so that red mage can get life access. So it's probably good not to take the level super high, but get them comfortable enough to go through Earth Dungeon, and I think it should be good.
I'm gonna mention something there. Yeah, Humda, as Will Brudler reported out in chat, the party chosen was a draft. So, Crab Cakes, she picked the thief. Ganonsgonewild picked the red mage fighter, and then Crab Cakes went right back with the fighter on this. And they both agreed beforehand to ban the black belt because, as I've seen multiple people say, that's kind of boring.
Yeah, so the boring black belt, get all of your alliteration there in the sentence.
So, Ganon grabbed a couple levels going on down. We got Nuke. We got the silver dagger plus something. We got pretty decent armor, to be honest. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say the red mage being able to equip the fighter armor is definitely helping this party's viability out.
Absolutely. Yep. And Crab Cakes. Going back here real quick. Check the white magic shop. We got Life 2. Look to be locked out of a maybe. I don't remember what 3. But Temper and Warp is in the black magic shop. Looks like Warp was in the vanilla Warp place.
And again, thanks to Wildham's sheet, we know that Life 2, given that it is in slot 3, means that neither the Red Mage nor the Red Wizard can learn it.
So the only life spell we may have access to will be the Life 1. Not strictly required just yet. We don't know. You never know how Topher's going to end up, but as far as it's going, it's not an absolute must-have. Crabcake still hasn't checked Matoya's closet, and that's why we're checking the Titan's Trove.
Yeah, for anybody who might be just joining us in the chat, first of all, welcome to RPG Limit Break. Welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Welcome to the Oxyel from Sarda. And what you missed was this flag set, as it's set up in the Spring Tournament, has 2 loose items. They were both in Matoya's cave, and Ganon has found both of them. Crabcakes has found neither. So we are seeing a little bit of time difference between the two because, well, Crabcakes is having to open a lot more boxes trying to find those looses, and Ganon is still opening a lot of boxes, but doesn't have to open all as many.
Right, and finally got dragon armor. And we got ourselves a good fighter, later night armor too. I think we might be promoting unless we find some other really nice stuff just for that armor alone.
Yeah, the dragon armor is definitely very good for that night whenever they do promote.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Crabcake so did pulling out that rub shirt out of the Titan's Trove and woohoo! That isn't a bad shirt to have. Rub a little bit, kill some enemies, you're good.
Yeah, it certainly helps. I mean, it's definitely better you kill them before they do the same.
Exactly. So again, it's gonna go ahead and finish up. And even though you've got, I mentioned it earlier, you got exit, you can get out of here if Earth turns nasty. Those are a few extra levels you got by grinding those waters early on up there on the spike tile. Gives you a little bit of buffer, and a handful of nukes out of that red mage should, no more than 2 or 3, should take out Lich here.
Yeah, I would expect so. I mean, chat speculated we may be seeing our first orb lit at sub 17, and that's looking rather likely at this point.
Yep, Sun Sword works well, and got some nukes. And we got a couple other spells there too, if the nukes don't quite finish it off, but... Fire 2... Kind of hurts a little bit at this low level, but not a whole lot. That 3 hits for 199 with the Sun Sword, that's nice. And there we go. Yep, sub 17, orb lit at 1624-ish.
And Chad asking if both players have the same seed. Yes, absolutely. They check that before they start within the race room. And so, yes, it is guaranteed that both of them are playing the same seed. It just simply comes down to differences in style, and that is really making all the difference right now.
Yeah. Crab Cakes did not check Matoya's closet, and that is what ended up why she's I wouldn't say behind. You never know, but that's why Ganon's got an advantage at this point.
Yeah, Crab Cakes is one of the best runners in the community. If you have seen any of her past tournament performances, you know this full well. But is suffering that disadvantage of not knowing that the two looses are available. And it's not particularly cost her a lot of time right now, but the longer that she goes without checking it, the worse it's going to end up being.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and Sarda had Oxyale, so Ganon's isn't really that far behind. We are going to go ahead and we're both going to kind of play tag in Ordeals here. We'll see what Ordeals has for us. Yeah. And as he mentioned earlier, I have watched Crab Cakes race. She is a phenomenal racer. Absolutely.
Yeah, as Adam's pointing out in chat, Crab Cakes won in 2019, was runner-up in 2020, and in the Speed Gaming Live event, or in 2021, she went undefeated. So definitely, because she is down 1-0 in this series right now to Ganon, do not let that delude you into thinking that she is in any way unqualified for this. That could not be further from the truth.
Gonna answer a question in chat here, live on stream for this. What do thieves do that really help the party? In the randomizer, a lot of bugs have been fixed. The thief here can run and has a better chance of ambushing enemy packs. It does have -5 luck, which hinders it a little bit, but a couple levels gains helps nullify that a little bit. But this party was drafted, so both players had to take the exact same party, and so whether you wanted to take a thief or not, you're taking a thief.
Speaking of vanilla,
Yeah, hey, that's my commentator curse I like to throw in there, and I keep forgetting to ask it, and it's been popping up, so I'm going to quit asking it before somebody gets to Ordeals. Alright. Now, both players are actually probably going to want to see that, because without running a black belt, which the black belts are actually have a negative, are the only class that's actually hurt by promoting early, because they can gain 4 MDef per level, whereas their promoted version, the Master, only gains 1 MDef per level. All the other classes, everything gets better if they're promoted.
Right, so both runners, I think, at this point want to find good fighting equipment, I think is why Ganon is still opening a lot of boxes. And then, of course, the sooner that they get that floater, the better.
Right. And it's checking the high-density chest areas, not really going out his way for a single chest either. Which is a pretty good heads-up play there. As a new runner myself, it's something I tend to forget that if I already have all the items I need and I still need to find armor and equipment, don't go looking for the hard-to-reach chests.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the newer runner types of issues to try to know when to stop opening boxes.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm getting a little bit more route diversions here, but this is where a little bit of the not getting both loose in Matoya's closet is hurting. Crab Cakes going to Thonrak Continent looking for key items. ganonsgonewild, knowing that there's a incentive item in Sky and knows exactly where it's at. But those stone badmen, what are they?
It was Stone Touch Nightmares.
not helping out too much, but again, we know where it's at, and we have the chime and the cube. Yeah. Might as well go ahead and give her a shot. Yep. Yes, Z-Man, that Ice plus 3 shield is really nice as well.
Yeah, it is extremely nice. We'll get to see in a moment if we have a visitation from our friend Out of Bounds Bat down here in the waterfall. Let's see if Crabcakes will oblige us with a sighting.
There we go.
There he is.
Ooh, Agmas. Nice.
So now that we've seen everybody's favorite friend Oob, Crabcakes can nuke this Agama into oblivion and feast on the delicious experience that it provides.
Yep. We got a bottle. And another gold bracelet. And an opal bonk. That ain't too bad.
No, I mean, you don't shake a stick at a gold bracelet, especially one that was free.
No, and you're likely promoting, so that opal bonk plus 3, the opal gauntlet, pretty decent armor, you know, for your fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Ganon is headed, I would presume, straight for the incentive chest here, and Sky, yes indeed, is heading in, and it is a floater. Hello.
Hello. We are airborne. All right.
Well, a floater in the sky? Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? And Angry Aaron Warmack is not required, but that does not mean we won't see one. There's always that chance. Yep, gonna check the great chest too. We're still looking for some. Honestly, we're looking for probably a little bit better weapon than a Sun Sword.
Yeah, Sun Sword is not bad for particularly the beginning, middle, kind of sort of toward the end game, but yeah, if you're starting to think about Topher, you want something better than that.
Yeah. And with, you know, Katana, may not have to promote, but even if you don't find that, Defense Sword rolling up, next Cal, Masamune, of course, always.
Folks sitting here speculating as to what the correct way of going through the Sky Maze is. My way that I always do it is I go right and up myself.
Yeah, I do the same way, unless I want to really just make people's head explode, then I go up, right, up, right. Alright. So yeah, that not checking Matoya's closets is hurting Crab's Cake right now. She's checking it. That's the only reason she'd be up here in Mermaids right now, is looking for that loose.
Yeah, she's convinced that either of the looses are here, and it's unfortunately we know that it's not. Ganon knows that it's not, but obviously she doesn't have that information right now.
Right. And you got to remember, this is the percentage play. There, odds of the loose ending up either in sea or the volcano is pretty high. So checking these chests, especially the free chests or the high density areas in these dungeons, are not a bad play. It's just
right.
Like, we know it's the wrong one.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's it's understandable, certainly. So Ganon is going on this Tiamat fight, has been fasting the fighter, swinging with that fasted fighter, and trying Brack strats, which sadly have not worked out just yet, but is going to continue with Brack, thinking about it, going for it, and it doesn't work, darn it.
Oof. Well, still here. Got heal strats, got a sword, sun sword, and a prayer. Rat strat. Nope, not this time. Let's start to get a little bit of good hits out of the fighter. Just we'd like a little better. Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say these spell rolls are not going terribly well for Ganon, and is down to a fighter and a prayer. We'll see if it works out. It's maybe another swing or two. Oh, and did it.
Oh, please heal before you take another step. Okay.
Took several steps, which, yeah, risky business, but did get that save in and has come out with a second orblet. Oh boy.
And yeah, sub 30 minutes. That was close, but it was a risk and it paid off.
Chat pointing out the triangle tiles or the arrow tiles are safe, so it wasn't quite as nervy as we thought, but still, it's kind of nervy's business if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because every other dungeon, those aren't safe.
Right, so now Ganon is going to go ahead and raise that airship. I suspect go ahead and drop by, grab the item from the Crescent Lake, which I believe was the TNT, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I missed it earlier. Yeah, I think you're right. The ribbon +4 out of the ice cave crab cakes pulled out. Some good armor there as far as helping out. You know, it's a ribbon. It doesn't matter if it's +4 or -3. It's good. It's a ribbon.
Yeah, I was gonna say a ribbon is good in any case, but a ribbon with that much extra is very, very good.
Well, crab cake's finding an excal -2. Nothing better than that. Sorry. If you can't find anything better, that's endgame weapon. It's not your ideal endgame weapon, but it is an endgame weapon. All right. Yeah, a slab. Yep. Just checking those free chests real quick. I'm going to check the armory. It's still probably looking for that endgame weapon more than extra armor.
Yeah, I would expect so, because we haven't really. I mean, we did see that Excal, but as chat mentioned, minus on an Excal is not good. No. And beyond that, the Sun Sword's really been about it so far.
Yeah. Here, 2+2 stick. Not too shabby. All right. Probably gonna go ahead and go on down and take a few swings at a carry.
Meanwhile, our runners are virtually sort of pseudo high-fiving here in Volcano. Looks like Crabcakes is going ahead and checking the hairpin chest, whereas Ganon just went with the armor and then went down.
All right.
Chat's speculating that there may be a full clear of Volcano, and that is indeed a very real possibility for Crabcakes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so again, it's showing us a pretty smart movement here. Only checking chests that are kind of on the way, and the only ones that are more or less free to check. Using the tier 4 to get everybody up. Anyhow, Ganon's Gone Wild taking the diagonal route down to Gary. Oof. And here we go.
As Chad is pointing out, Ganon is about to take on his third fiend at just under 32 minutes, which is insane progress and is going very quickly, but doesn't have probably the same levels that Crabcakes has, and certainly does not have the same sort of gear.
Right. Now, 3 hits for 154 damage. That that fast should help out a lot on this this fighter here. Ink, darked, cure 4, healed, punch. We're good. That nuke out. Like 3. And there we go. Our third orb lit, just a hair over 32 minutes. Whew.
Yeah, Ganon is definitely just roaring through this right now. But as Chad is pointing out, carry can be a little bit of a surprise sometimes.
Oh yeah.
We commonly refer to Lich as the speed bump, and Ganon has proven that Lich was just that today, but the carry fight can actually be a little rough if you run into it with a little bit less preparation or you don't have the materials you need to be able to take her on.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We do have... forgot which island he's going to, but does have a tail. We are going to see a promotion here.
Yep. So Ganon's going to go ahead and promote and have access to that life spell, which will be nice.
Yep. And all that nice juicy armor we picked up. I saw an opal armor in there as well.
Yes.
So we got dragon, we got opal. We got some nice and tasty armor for both fighters. Here.
And Chad asking is GGW leaving the Thief dead to boost XP? Yes. Yeah, both runners. Crabcakes has one of the fighters left stoned, and Ganon has the Thief down for that specific purpose, because it will reroute the XP and will make it a little bit easier for the other party members to get, essentially, to get buffed up a bit faster.
Oh, here we go. We just found ourselves an endgame weapon. If we want to use that. Yeah, Vorpal -1. Not happy about it being minus, but it's viable. And we also got an Aegeus shield, which between that and the dragon armor more or less gives that one fighter a pseudo ribbon as well.
And Crabcakes found the Masamune.
Oh. Well.
That changes things. Not completely, but it changes things, because now Crabcakes has a much more potent physical fighter. The Vorpal will do some work, but the Masa will do a lot more work.
Right. So AK-1247, the Vorpal has a pretty decent crit rate. It'll if I'm not, I probably am mistaken. So, but anyhow, it's got a high crit rate, so it has a good chance to actually crit through a lot of stuff, and it makes it a viable endgame weapon for that alone.
This is particularly important once you get into, say, the Temple of Fiends Revisited, and because that high crit rate will help out, especially against some of the fiends that have a bit higher armor. That can prove to be important if you get into some of the hairier fights.
Yep. All right. Ganon's gone well. Gonna go ahead and turn in this TNT.
And chat pointing out that, well, while we were looking at what Ganon was doing, Crabcakes just basically walked up, smacked carry twice, and then lit an orb. So Crabcakes is now on the orb board in exceedingly rapid fashion.
That's what we were talking about earlier about Crabcakes doing all these extra checks and having to take these extra battles. The having the weaponry and the levels is where the advantage Crabcakes has now. Still not quite as good as having the knowledge of where the loose items are, but it's still not. You can't discount it by any means.
And much to chat's relief, Ganon has gone to Sarda and has picked up the Oxyale. That means he now has access to the final Fiend dungeon and is probably going to head, if not straight there, at least there after taking care of Ice.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah. Crabcakes already did the ice play. I didn't catch what was in ice.
The ice item was the slab.
It was a slap. Oh, okay. Right. Well, that's going to give Ganon's some info. Probably going to be doing at least the slab turn in before we go to. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to think like them, and I'm not that good of a runner to do so.
If knowing what I know and having what I have, I mean, I would expect you probably have to do because you've got the bottle, you've got, of course, the slab, and we do still have a loot available. We do still have pretty much any number of things, so it's still in the realm of possibility. I would suspect with no other recourse, you would probably go ahead and do that turn in.
Yeah, the reason I was waffling on that is Ganon's doesn't have the bottle, and I believe the bottle was in Waterfall. So, may still go to on-rack before probably, obviously, translate the slab. But we'll probably, may still go to on-rack first, just to make sure you only have to do another one shot at the over there for Gaia and Lufane. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah. So Ganon chooses not to continue in Ice Cave, which is understandable considering that he got the incentive item out of there. But unfortunately, we know that 6-pack of chests has that ribbon, which is very, 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 very nice.
Right. But we do have a fighter that, like I said, has a pseudo ribbon, so we're okay there.
You hope, yes.
Yes.
But we know in these seeds that fortune can favor the fiends that toss those spells out very, very easily.
Oh yeah. That is true. Now Crabcake's finding that dragon armor, and gonna go ahead and take that, and I don't blame her. Ganon's going ahead and heading to Onrak Continent.
I was going to say, I think for a minute, Ganon was trying to decide whether to go to Onrak Continent or to go ahead and hit that bottle, the bottle slab turn in, but doesn't have the bottle. It's going to get it here in the waterfall, so that'll probably put him at ease, or put Ganon at ease a little bit, considering that it makes it a little more convenient to just go ahead and do the bottle and the slab at the same time.
Yep, check the bottle if it's not your loot. Swing over to Lufane, because that's where it's going to end up. As long as it doesn't end up being some sort of fetch quest chain thing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, there's not really a whole lot of fetch quest chaining to do left, because we have the crystal, we have the bottle, but the crystal and bottle, I think, can only turn into the loot, and the power gauntlet, I believe, is what's left on the table.
Yeah.
Because we have seen the ruse stick. I want to say the ruse stick was the TNT turn in.
I think you're right there. Yep. And probably gonna check that the chest down here. Again, they're right there. They're relatively quick to check. And you this is still a very equipment heavy party. You still want, you still check the easy checks just for see if you can't get that little bit better of equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. Crabcakes takes on the speed bump and runs over him in a whopping 2 attacks. So, keeping up the pattern of 2-shotting fiends here.
Yep. If I'm 2-shotting fiends, I'd be okay with that as well.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to argue with that sort of power.
Yep. Here's a bottle. Have a bottle. You look like you need a drink.
Well, I was going to say, considering a fairy lives inside that thing, I will question the morality of such an action.
We have tequilas with worms, so we're good.
Chad asking if Ganon got life on that red wizard. Yes, Ganon did.
Yep. And also rezzed up a character or two there while he's in Elfland as well. All right. And now Ganon, knowing we don't have any loose items, is going to go straight to Kraken rather than go check some stuff out. Crabcake's finally making the play into Matoya and is going to really feel behind right about now.
Yep. The thing is, though, yes, she is behind, definitely, but she has 2 orbs lit to Ganon's 3. Is a bit better equipped than Ganon with that Masta particularly, and the ribbon. And so definitely has the possibility of making this time up. Not necessarily saying it's going to happen, but Crabcakes did not get to the quarterfinals of this tournament, did not win 2019, did not get second place in 2020, and did not ace the 2021 SGL tournament for nothing. If there's anybody in this field that can make up that time, it's Crabcakes.
Yep. And chat point now, Ganon's Gone Wild could still wipe in Topher, and because of all the extra checks Crabcakes has done, she is actually a much better equipped and has better levels. So a bad Topher evens this right back up.
Yep, absolutely. And there's a reason we call Topher the Great Equalizer, and particularly some of the fiends within the Great Equalizers, because we have seen more than a few races in which differences that seemed nearly insurmountable were made up because of that alone.
Mm-hmm. And every single one of them, including our favorite speed bump, has wiped parties going down.
Yep, which too has been known to destroy parties, just not all that many.
Yeah. Answering another question in chat by Humda. Is it common for players to only use 3/4 of the characters late game? Yes, they'll usually bring up that one last character to maybe take a punch or two from a fiend or so, but that's about it. By leaving that third character down, either stoned as Crabcakes does, or taking a dirt nap as Ganon's Gone Wild is, actually funnels all your extra experience. Instead of spreading across 4 players, it spreads across 3. So you gain levels faster across those 3 characters.
And as Will Cleosis is pointing out, he likes to use 2 characters. Will Bloodworth, on the other hand, is infamous in the FFR community for doing runs of just a single character, and has some exceptional videos worth watching if you're into that.
Yep. Yeah, that's very, very great runner in the community, and it's those are fun runs. We won't spoil the character for you if you haven't seen them yet, so yeah, go check that out when we're done with this race, of course.
Absolutely, yeah. Will is talking about doing dumb things. Well, hey, if they work out, they're smart things.
One of my favorite quotes of all time: "If it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid." All right. Kraken, doing Kraken one thing's taking a few punches and not going down easy. Not getting even bracked even. To a 2-2, but getting the punch in there. And Ganon's Gone Wild's got that 4th orb lit. Now we're just on the search for the loot.
Absolutely. So 45 minutes in, Ganon is just lacking the loot for go mode. And folks coming in chat recently, welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament between Crabcakes and Ganon's Gone Wild. This is Game 2. Ganon won Game 1 last night, and the way that the seed is generally gone, it was a drafted party. Crabcakes chose the Thief. Ganon chose the Red Mage and a Fighter, and then Crabcakes chose a second Fighter, and they were off to the races. The biggest thing that has really defined this seed in many ways is a few minutes into the seed, Ganon chose to check Matoya's cave and found both loose items within. Crabcakes passed that up until a few minutes ago, and that has essentially outlined differences between how the two have run this seed. Crabcakes has had to clear a lot more boxes trying to find those looses, but as a result has gotten better equipment than Ganon. Ganon is an orb ahead, but Crabcakes has the better equipment, and we're going to see how that difference essentially irons out in the end as Ganon is likely about to get the loot. Oh, okay, Crystal 2 loot, rather.
Yeah.
And then that will mean that Ganon will be in go mode and will probably be heading straight into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah. That being said, Crabcakes being better equipped with better armor and better levels, making a lot shorter work of every single fiend that she's ran into.
Yeah, her takedown of Kraken was so fast I didn't even see it.
Yep, and you can see she's entering Sky Temple just as Ganon's getting the last little bit of shopping done before going to Topher and getting the loot. She's really not that far behind. She's just got to go grab a floater. May not even need to go grab that if. Well, yes, she does have to get the floater to go to Leffen to do this, but that's what a few seconds, a couple minutes tops. Once she's defeated Tiamat, and if she can knock out Tiamat really quicker than Ganon's Gone Wild did, but she's ahead of the game still. Or she's not. She's well, yeah. Okay, my brain just went to mush here. She is not out of this yet. Not by a long shot.
Yeah, Crabcakes definitely can catch up and picks up that floater there. Probably knows by this point, just from working through the logic, that she will need to go ahead and pull up the airship to finish this out. But she is heading quickly toward Tiamat and is likely going to take Tiamat down, I would suspect, at least a little bit quicker than Ganon. Ganon, meanwhile, enters into Temple of Fiends Revisited at about 48-45 and is rapidly making his way down to see if he can take down the Fiends and Chaos.
Which, as Chad is pointing out, these Fiends still pretty scary, and Ganon's not quite as well equipped as Crabcakes is. So this is going to be a very, very interesting thing. I don't know if Crabcakes is going to promote or not.
I would like to add as well, Ganon experienced another taste of vanilla, the Phantom guarding the loot door.
Fun. That's always fun. But Crabcakes actually has a ribbon, has a Moss immune, doesn't have really any need to actually go promote, really. Got an endgame weapon, got endgame armor. The only thing she would want to promote for really is the life spell. So do you really waste the time to go get that, or do you go ahead and give Topher a try?
Chat pointing out also that Crabcakes saw Warmech and ran, so unfortunately no robot chicken slaying today, but Crabcakes is working on slaying Tiamat and is on pretty good course to do it with that Masa hitting hard. Yeah, 8 hits, 556, and Tiamat goes down in a heap.
Oh yeah. Got the 4th orb lit. Probably just a couple minutes now from being in Topher. For Crabcakes, again, is what Gone Wild. Meanwhile, running into our favorite speed bump here, and taking not being quite the speed bump today. Being a kind of a gated community. Right. And again, it's Gone Wild got past our speed bump and is heading down into the fire floor. Crabcakes is going to do the bottle turn-in, going to find the Saber Bonk there. It's already translated the slab. It's got the floater. As I said, this ain't taking long at all. Gonna go ahead and obviously don't know if she'll reset out of the Saber Bonk or not, but he is going to be heading to Lufane here very shortly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't expect her to reset out of the Saber Gauntlet. It's just too good for those fighters to, especially a fighter with a Masamune. You give that Saber a couple of spins and a fast, you could just whittle down these fiends very quickly.
Yep. All right. Got that one fighter pulling out that Vorpal. Very punching out some poison. Got our crystal. Crab Cake slapping her forehead over the crystal. You know that's probably what she was waiting on before to check the closet, more than anything.
Yeah, and that's understandable. Carrie apparently has Cure 4, which is, oh dear, that's not fun.
Oh dear.
But as chat pointing out, that's not good now, but it's good later for GGW because, well, now you don't have to see it on Chaos.
Yeah, but no life. The life caster's down. This is at unrunnable waters. Ugh.
Yeah, that's an understandable reset from Ganon, and that just gave Crab Cakes some of that time back. Although we'll see how much time that would give her, and if that'll make the difference. But holy Moses!
Well, you know what? Yeah, you know, we were speculating on whether or not Crab Cakes would promote. Went ahead and did so. That does give her the pseudo ribbon on the fighter and a real ribbon on the Red Mage. So we're doing a little better. Again, Crab Cakes has the equipment advantage by now. With the X-Cal, a Masamune, I mean, both fighters. So if one goes down, the other fighter still is available, even in the middle of the battle, to finish off the fight for you.
Yeah, so Crab Cakes entering into Temple of Fiends just under 54 minutes, but because of that wipe from Ganon, this is a much closer race than, as chat was pointing out, much closer race even than expected maybe 20 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is showing us the difference between being well prepared entering into Ophir and the Fiends versus just barely prepared. I mean, Ganon's Gone Wild is not making a bad play. He's got the equipment, good enough equipment and stuff like that, but having great equipment makes a huge difference.
Well, it is worth pointing out at this point that last night's race between Crab Cakes and Ganon went down to a little over a minute. It could very well be the same interval, or at least very close to that interval, during this race too. So this is looking really, really fun.
Yeah, Crab Cakes is only a floor or two behind Ganon's Gone Wild right now. That's only a couple minutes. Right. Ganon's coming back to our speed bump. Not fun days. Preparing for this one because last time we were here it didn't work out that well. All right, 4 hits 302, 4 hits 259. Twirl. Ugh. Right. Here we go. Crab Cakes there is now just a quarter of a floor behind, really. This Lich is probably going to go down a lot faster for Crab Cakes than Ganon's Gone Wild.
Yeah, she is hot on Ganon's heels. It is something to see, definitely. Not even bothering to fast or temper anybody against the speed bump. And the speed bump goes down. Crab Cakes may very well pass Ganon in the middle of this worm fight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, yeah, I mean, we have the Sun Sword, we have the X-Cal, we have the Masamune. Didn't see if she picked up the Vorpal or not, but it doesn't matter. I mean, for 3 sword swingers that can do major damage, we're good.
This is really just coming down to, ultimately what this is going to come down to is just how well they execute these fights, because the runners are almost precisely in lockstep right now.
Both of them hard reset in, so they're hitting all the same battles, and Crabcake's just about past Ganon's Gone Wild right there. We are on dueling carry fights. Now this switches the advantage to Crabcakes. Again, being better armored, better equipped, better leveled. It's likely to get through these fiend fights a little bit faster. And there we go. Crabcakes just made the pass. Unrunnable waters. There they are again. Ganon's Gone Wild remembering the unrunnable waters and went ahead and healed up before it ran into him.
I was going to say, unfortunately, it looked like the only thing that could stop Crabcakes for a second was trying to find that door.
Yep.
I know definitely when I was starting to get used to this game, I had a lot of trouble on this floor because the doors blend in so well with the rest of the walls. It's, unless you really know what you're looking for when you're first learning the game, it can be tough to see them.
I remember the doors when I started the randomizer, but just because I've been playing this game since I was like 10. And every incarnation of it. But yeah, I see what you're talking about. Those doors do blend into the walls very, very well.
Oh, Kraken punches out Crabcakes' the Red Wizard, and so I don't think she ever ended up getting life on the Knights, if I remember correctly.
Nope, she hit Elflin once and never went back. Alrighty. And now Crabcakes is now officially a floor ahead. Wowza.
Yeah, it's switching to a bit more of a conservative strategy, though. I mean, using the Rude Sticks on that ninja, it's a good move anyway, because the ninja's in that top position is going to be taking those hits first, so getting the ruses up is a good move against Tia 2. And sabered that Masa holding fighter once to try to buff that damage up, and did pretty effectively.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh, get that Masa. Oh, phew. Alright. And Ganon's Gone Wild, getting the wall, getting the ruse stuff out there. That hurt. That hurt a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say the good news for Crabcakes though is did switch that roost stick over, and oh boy,
These rock goals. Ugh. Gonna go ahead and take him out, probably because not confident can run away from him, and get those extra few levels before chaos, because this is going to give a pretty tasty amount of XP. Yeah, 20,000 gold. I don't disagree with that. It just, oof. Knowing how close this race is.
Chat asking if the Knights this speed had minus luck. The Thieves actually did.
Yep. The Knights had minus vitality. There we go. We're gonna have. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I was just mentioning that Crabcake starting out with the ruses and sabers to try to get this fighter buffed up against anything that would come at a solo fight, and so we are both in chaos at the same time. Holy crap!
Ganon's got the full party going. Crabcake's got the single fighter. Oh, all right, we got enough going on. Got 500 hit damage, get averaging 500 damage per swing for Crab Cakes. Ganon's still doing the buffing and the stuff. And Crab Cakes finishes it off. She just completes this with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 27 seconds. I'm back on Ganon's Gone Wild. We'll see if either of them want to come in for an interview, but let's finish up this hit with Ganon's Gone Wild. Coming out with the Cure 4, getting some fight weight. Get the Cure 4 on. Quad X comes out, does not land. 8 hits, 658 damage. We're on the pace to finish this battle off pretty quickly. 8 hits, 754 damage. Ganon's Gone Wild finishes up, comes in place with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, 6 seconds. This was close. Wow.
So GG's to both runners. For anybody doing the math at home, that difference is less than 40 seconds.
Ooh. Wow. All right, let's see. Yeah.
All right, so we're checking right now to see if either of them want to come in for an interview. But my goodness gracious, I mean, like I said, the first race was about a minute to a minute and a half. This second race was less than 40 seconds. Goodness freaking gracious. And we are joined in chat by Ganon's Gone Wild. GG, Ganon. Holy Moses.
Thanks, GG.
Matoya's Closet.
Yeah, I think I saw that in maybe one of the qualifiers or something. I don't know. I definitely saw one of the other tournament races where there was both items there. It was pretty silly. It's always a good idea to check that before leaving the inner sea.
Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest thing that really set the difference between the two of you, certainly through most of the game, because, of course, you grabbed those 2 looses early, and I think you were going through a lot of boxes trying to find good weaponry for your fighters. But that informed Crab Cakes' decisions to have to check more boxes, I think. And that also set sort of a different tone, because Crab Cakes came in to Topher about, I want to say, a few minutes after you did. But she had a Mossad fighter and was, I think, overall a bit better equipped. And I think that might have ended up making the difference toward that end game.
Yeah, I mean, the wipe on carry 2 really is just what screwed me, because I had Cure 4, Wall, and Roostick and Saber Gauntlet on a Vorpal swinging knight with 500 HP, so that pretty much is indestructible if you can get it to Kraken. Like 9 out of 10 times you're going to finish the game, so I just needed to get turn order or not screwed by Cure 4, or really just not have them backline. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it is what it is, so.
Yep. Yeah, you missed out on the zap on Tia 2. That wiped out all but one of Crab Cakes' party members there.
Yeah, I mean, that would be unfortunate. I did have wall up on at least, I think, the knight that mattered, maybe even the red mage, so I probably would have been able to survive it at least. But I mean, I even had a Cure 2 item, so I was pretty indestructible, at least for soloing chaos. So it just obviously is a time loss.
Yeah, outside of that, though, I mean, you did an excellent job running this race. It was tight all the way to the end, and it just gives a tribute, really, to everybody who's in the top 8. Of course, you won Game 1, Crab Cakes won Game 2, so we are going to a Game 3 in y'all's series, which it is a tribute to both of your abilities. And considering that the races cumulatively have been decided by, I want to say, less than 2 minutes, I'm already excited for Game 3 tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm barring like any kind of really bad luck by someone. It's just going to be, all these races are going to be pretty close. I don't really feel like I'm much of an underdog, despite what maybe the rest of the chat seems to think. So it's really just going to come down to RNG and stuff like, who wipes more and loses more time to more wipes, because I'm probably only like a minute slower anyway than Crab Cakes generally. So it's really just a giant dice rolling competition at this point. So we'll see who has the better RNG tomorrow.
I don't think if you're this far in the tournament, you're an underdog. Everybody has a chance to win this. And the races I've been seeing and commenting on have just been proving that. It's just been insane. Everybody's been running at the top of their game this tournament.
Yeah, no, the races have been really great to watch, especially these top 8s. They've all been pretty close, except for the misadventure today that Spellzap is a slight chest mishap, but, the rest of these have been really good.
Well, even that chest mishap, Spellzap came in within a few minutes.
Oh yeah, it's super impressive to even be that close with what happened. I mean, that was pretty insane.
Yep.
All right. Well, GG's, congratulations on to Game 3, which is going to be tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel. Thank you very much. Do you have any final thoughts before we start kind of wrapping things up tonight?
Just thanks for doing commentary. And yeah, Crab Cakes 42 seed, really having a hell of a tournament here. So yeah, GG's to her. And yeah, look forward to Game 3 tomorrow.
Alrighty, well, GG's, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your night, and we look forward to seeing both of y'all tomorrow night.
Yep.
Alright, so that was Ganon's Gone Wild, our second place finisher tonight, but basically second place by the hair on my chinny chin chin. And that, of course, evens the match between Crab Cakes and GGW at 1 match apiece. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch channel is going to be Game 3 between these two, and hopefully y'all are carving out some time to come watch it, because holy Moses, it's going to be amazing. It's also worth mentioning, we have the Duckling Boot Camp tomorrow night. Week 3 is going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern on RPG Limit Break, and we are also getting ready to do our very first FFR Randomizer Marathon, June 17th through the 19th. We are going to be raising money for the Liam Foundation, which helps out with LGBTQ advocacy, and it's going to be a great tournament. Great charity marathon, rather. I am going to be in at least one race, if not two, and lots of folks are going to be doing some great stuff there, so definitely make sure to check all of that out tomorrow night on both channels, and all of the events coming up within the rest of this tournament and beyond. So first off, thank you to our runners, to Crab Cakes and Ganon's Gone Wild, for racing tonight. Of course, as you all have seen, both of them did an amazing job, and they are both very much well worth follows if you have them to give. In addition, thank you to everybody here in the broadcast booth as well, to Dark Moon doing the restream, to Wildam doing the tracking, and to 4X for being in the booth here with me tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And that should pretty well wrap it up for our Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament match tonight here on RPG Limit Break. We appreciate all of y'all being out here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We are going to be sending y'all somewhere yet to be disclosed. Let me see if I can find it here in the panning up channel here. But we are going to be dashing out, and thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. 4X, do you want to lead us out tonight?
Absolutely. As you said, give everybody a follow. Be sure to check the Final Fantasy Randomizer out. We got Duck Derby and everything else going on. And for myself, Ro8, Dark Moon, Wild Ham, Ganon's Gone Wild, and Crab Cakes, and the puppy in my lap, Posey, have a good one. See you next time.